Hello, it's Doug from Behind Closed Doors, and today I'm looking at a video called The Most Efficient Way to Text Women. So have a look at the video.
Anyway, the first piece of advice I'll give you guys is block out a specific time for messaging girls.
Yes, I agree.
I'm actually going to combine this with this, these two together, because they're both kind of telling each other. The most prime times for dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, or whatever, is between the hours of 6 to 8 p.m. That's when girls are. That's when
Yeah, I'd say a little bit later, but yeah, in the evening, yeah.
girls are home from work. 6 to 8 p.m. If they're on the app, they're not on a date, right? They're sitting around eating dinner, talking with their cat,
Drinking box wine.
doing what single girls do, and they're on the phone, right? Chill and watch Netflix on their phone, right? So 6 to 8 p.m. is the first thing to consider. The second thing to consider is the day you spend more time and energy on the dating apps, and I would highly recommend that be Sunday and Monday evenings, because those are the days when girls, again, are most bored and lonely. So you get on there Sunday, Monday evening, 6 to 8 p.m., the prime hours, and you use those time periods.
Yeah, I think nothing beats regularity, so I think it's better to do it just every evening and not, I'd recommend doing half an hour every evening. A few dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, you can get 2 or 3 and spend about 10 minutes on each one just swiping. And then when you get matches, message the girls, unless it's Bumble, they have to message first. And yeah, everything goes pretty quickly after that. People get in touch when they're interested fairly promptly.
To text and go over what Justin's going to tell you next, and set up the dates for the rest of the week.
And so the timing is really important. In addition to that, you wanna block it out, and that's the only thing you're doing at one time. And the reason that you want to do it all at one time is because
Like message all the girls.
all the girls.
All your
So
matches.
one thing that's going to come later in here is that you should have an opener. You should copy and paste that opener multiple times, 10, 15, 20 times.
Yeah, and if you want a really effective opener, the best thing to do is to buy my product. And I'll put a link in the description below because I have the best opener by far. I'll teach you, once you get a match, how to take it from a match to a date.
15, 20 times. And the reason you should do that is because, and also, I advise that you actually text a couple of ugly girls. And it sounds retarded, but it'll make sense.
Yeah, go on then, I'm listening.
If you text all these girls, normally a guy, he'll just text the one pretty girl. Well, dude, she might be at work. And that message sits there and sits there and sits there, and you can get in your own head. It's like you want to take the message back, and the next thing you know, you double text, which is absolutely not something you want to do. So when you're texting, your game has like this multiplier.
Well, I think you should text all women that you match with. So if you've already matched with her, then you've already, said that you liked her. So if you're saying that you like ugly girls, then yeah, you should text them back. But if you're matching, but kind of by definition, you wouldn't be matching with them if you thought they were ugly, because beauty is kind of subjective to some extent.
Because you have less risk. So you can be a little loose.
I'm a bit confused. He's saying match with girls that you think are ugly.
And so texting multiple girls. So if that one girl doesn't answer you, but 3 more do, you're not spending your time thinking about that girl, think, oh, was that a stupid thing to say? Was that too far? You're talking to these other girls that actually answered. So it kind of builds this internal swag for you.
Yeah, I think if you've got self-doubt with that kind of a thing, then you're approaching it from the wrong angle.
And it keeps you in an abundance mode. So I definitely would never advise a guy, but man, when I was in college, dude, I would text 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all at the same time. And the more I did it and the more responses that were positive, the more swag I had.
Yeah, because you're getting positive feedback.
And I was able to hold that confidence.
This is the thing, if you're already confident anyway, then you don't need someone outside of yourself to validate your own confidence.
Yeah, your confidence builds and builds and builds and builds. And then you stop really getting in your own head about it.
I think the best way to not get in your own head about it is to go in with the right attitude in the first place, as opposed to develop your attitude based on the feedback that you're getting so much, because you don't know if the person that you're texting is a nice person or not.
Another thing that's not on here, and it just hit me. If a girl's really, really pretty, and you already know she's pretty, when I'm texting her, I absolutely do not look at her photos any longer, because it can cause this weird kind of pressure, that's not really necessary. So let her be an avatar in your mind, and you treat her like the rest of the women.
Yeah, I think you should treat them all the same.
And it'll maximize your confidence moving forward.
Yeah, I think if you're distracted by the looks, don't look at the pictures. But again, I can kind of like look at a beautiful girl and not really be that bothered by it.
Yeah, dude, it's a cheat code, man, because some of these, dude, if you got a baddie on the hook, it's like having a big fish on the line. You like start freaking the fuck out, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do that, man. You want to set the drag and just let it roll. So,
well, you want to be cool, yeah. And the best way to be cool is to sort of like just decide. I think this goes back to, the 1 to 10 scale thing. Is she a 2 or a 9 or whatever it is that men kind of rate a woman as? I just have it as a basic. Would I have sex with her? Wouldn't I? If I would, cool. That's the attraction thing over with. Now I focus purely on behaviour. I don't care about what she looks like, so it doesn't bother me. But if you are hung up on, oh my God, she's pretty, she's got nice boobs or whatever, then yeah, don't look at the pictures if you think it's gonna emotionally control you. But I honestly look for characteristics.
Don't look at hot girls' photos. Like once you start texting them, don't look at their photos anymore, man, because that can put pressure that's not really unnecessary. And then text in abundance.
Yeah, you see, I don't get pressured by looking at hot girls,
man, and that's why you should text at one time, and that'll really help you out. Sterling's really big on this next one. Every time he comes back from boxing, he opens the laptop, so I'll let him have it.
Well, so for me, I'm like more of an introverted guy. Jay's a very, very extroverted guy, quite naturally. So for me, I'm not always in that kind of social mood, and some of you guys might relate to that.
Oh, I've done some videos on Sterling Cooper, and I'll put them as a link here.
Might relate to that. I'm more of like, a thinker. I'm on my laptop all the time. I'm that kind of guy. Yeah. So, but what I notice about myself is after I exercise, I'm in a very social, playful, confident, fun mood. Mm-hmm. That is the perfect time to jump on dating apps for 30 minutes or whatever.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with him. I suppose if you're state dependent, if it depends on your mood. But for me, texting, it's no different to like a sales email, really. It's just a funnel. So I know exactly what to text and how I'm going to text them and what I'm going to say to get their phone number and get them on a date and all that kind of stuff. And it's not an emotional process. In fact, the less emotional, the better, because then you can be more kind of like objective and see how she's behaving as opposed to being distracted by things like her looks. If my friend messages me and wants to meet up for a drink, or, I've got to get in touch with my dad or something, I don't have to be in the right state to message him. I'm comfortable in my own skin. So I think if you feel a bit nervous or something, then maybe you do need to hype yourself up into the right state. But I don't think you do. I think if you're going with the right attitude, you don't really need to do all that stuff.
And start sending out messages and replying to girls, because you're in that social mood. So do like an order.
But texting isn't a social thing to do, really.
Of yourself in your own mood, and see what thing. Maybe it's from all the guys. It probably is the gym or boxing or whatever it is. But do an order on yourself and realize what things do I do throughout the day? What hobbies or habits that I do that put me in a really fun, happy, social mood? Recognize that and then use that to your advantage, and jump on the dating apps after you do that.
Yeah, if you're state dependent, but if you're not state dependent like I am, you don't have to worry about doing all that. You don't have to warm up to go and talk to somebody.
All right. Well, that leads us to our next one. This one's really important, actually. Dude, don't text chicks when you're horny. It's dumb. It's like going to the grocery store when you're horny. Hungry. you just
walk around that grocery store with a big fat.
Yeah, it's a big hog.
Idea.
No. It's like when you go to the grocery store when you're hungry, man. You just buy too much shit. And if you're texting girls when you're kind of in the mood, man, it makes you reach too much.
They can tell.
Yeah, they can tell, and it feels needy or it feels aggressive, which pushes them away. You really want to absorb women. not run them down because they'll just run away from you. So try not to text girls when you're super super horny, because that'll really mess things up for you. I'm gonna leave for the next one for you. All about, that C4.
Horny.
Right
Using it.
C4, man. That opening chess move.
Oh yeah, well, like, look, like you said, but you talked about copy paste and stuff before.
Yeah, I did.
Like we run, unfortunately, we've run into the problem because we live together. We're guilty of having texted the same girl the exact same shit, and she's called us both out on it.
Well, this is the great thing about the product that I sell, is that if everyone did what I wrote, no one will get caught out on anything.
But this ain't going to be your problem. For most of you out there watching this,
I'm not gonna have this problem.
you don't live in our neighborhood.
No.
You're not running our game exactly. You don't know what we say.
Yeah, you see, I don't run game either. You know, everyone talks about game all the time, and I think the only winning move is not to play the game. Just don't play the game.
But for the most part, once you have an opener that, like, play around a bit, get creative, cool. Like, once you have an opener that works and it's working consistently,
Which is what mine does.
maybe like sit down, think for a minute, get creative, think about 3 or 4 or 5 different ones, test them out,
You don't need 4 or 5 different ones. You just need my opener.
and then watch which ones are getting the best, positive, most consistent responses.
Right, A/B test it.
A/B test it,
A/B test.
and then just pick the one that works and just keep using that.
I agree. And if you don't know what it is that you need to write, again, that's what I made the video for. You can buy my course, and it'll just save you a lot of time and money.
Like a good opener is one that's gonna kind of like elicit, like make you stand out. It's gonna elicit like an emotional reaction from the girl, and more importantly, I'll add here, it's gonna elicit. It's not, like I said, it's gonna stand out. So it's not like, hey, how you doing? Some bullshit. But more importantly, it's going to elicit a predictable response from her.
And it's setting frame.
And setting the frame is good.
It's doing both and setting frame.
Because then you all.
Yeah, I don't really worry about how an opener is coming across to her. I don't really care that much.
You already know what you can follow it up with because the response is predictable and every girl's responding the same shit to it. So you can play the same.
Well, yeah, but girls still, there's variation in the ways in which girls respond. But there's not variation to my system. So it's basically like a flow chart. So if they take this, then I put them over there. If they do this, I put them there. It's very systematic. Again, very similar to a sales funnel.
Offense, like you say, on every girl again and again and again and again, because this is a numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Spray your seed, spray your openers out there everywhere, knock on as many doors as you can, and then you work with the ones who are keen and responding.
Right.
Well, I don't think you have to knock on as many doors as you can, but I'd widen the funnel as much as you can. But I wouldn't be dating girls that I wasn't interested in.
That leads to the next point, and it's do absolutely whatever you do not call out her beauty.
Well, over the texting, yes, I agree. But in person, knock yourself out.
Every other guy's doing it. It's the easy thing, you know, and really the best, the thing that I do the most, the prettier a girl is, the more I give her shit.
Oh, no, I don't agree with that.
Like, I love to say pretty ain't a pass, you know. So oftentimes women are not challenged very much when they're beautiful. And so I find that.
Well, I only challenge a woman when she says something that's worthy of a challenge, not just because she's beautiful. No, I just think that's a bit. No, I don't agree. You can get women that are beautiful and nice, or not so good looking and nice, and you can get women that are not so good looking and horrible, and beautiful and horrible. So I wouldn't judge it based on the looks.
And so I find that the more you can joke around with her and make her feel like a normal person,
she is a normal person.
The more likely she is not to run, but be absorbed and chase you because you're giving her a little bit of a hard time via flirting.
Well, she should be chasing you anyway. She's attracted to you. That's the natural dynamic.
You know, not giving her the, you know, oh, you're so beautiful, and this is bullshit. It doesn't work.
Well, it works if she values your opinion on her, but it doesn't work if she doesn't value your opinion on her.
And then the next thing is really important. I'm gonna let Sterling take it.
Yeah, if you want to go for like.
And again, it's not a case of if it works or not to me. It's a case of I express myself how I like to express myself, and I don't care how she responds.
You want to go for like a a close of sorts within at least 10 messages. Like, you don't want to be that texting buddy, that texting guy that goes on and that's actually something that women complain about a lot when it comes to dating apps. Is the dudes who just talk back and forth.
Yeah, and if you buy my dating app, and I'm going to keep plugging it throughout this just because it's relevant. And if you are a young lad or an old lad or whatever, and you don't know what to type on these dating apps and stuff, get my course. It's just what you need, and you don't want to be hanging around and chatting to them any more than necessary.
Forever and never take it anywhere. Right. So within 10 messages, you should either be going for a number or her IG, and that gets to the next point.
Yeah, I'll go for a number. I'm not interested in her Instagram. I'm not really on Instagram. I've got a couple of accounts that are on Instagram, but I don't use it.
Well, I want to just add to that point is that if you're taking it longer than that, you're basically showing her that your time has no value. That too. Yeah. That you're not a busy guy.
Well, again, it doesn't. I don't care what it comes across like to her. I'm devaluing myself. I don't have the time. I would rather be doing other things.
You're not like on shit. Like you're not doing stuff.
And
like
that you're not decisive, and you're not.
Again, it's always from the frame of how she's perceiving things. I don't care about how she perceives things. I'm gonna be who I am, and if she likes it, great. And if she doesn't, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. So it's interesting because even these two guys here who have kind of positioned themselves as like these higher status males, they're still talking as if they care about what a girl's thinking about.
You're not decisive, and you're not a guy with like intention.
Yeah. So you like, hey, yo, I'm running into a meeting. I'm interested. Period. We should meet. Shoot me your number. Yeah. Leave the question marks out. You don't ask her a question. Just tell her. Yeah. You know. Statement. Tell her what to do. Like, hey, yeah, send me your number. Boom, done. I gotta go. Hey, I'm interested. I'm busy at work. Shoot me your number. We should get together. Boom, done. And she'll either do it or she doesn't, man. It's not like you're gonna question mark her into liking you. So, you're fucking not. I mean, you're just not, bro. like if I'm like telling God's honest truth. So next point.
Was the IG one?
Yeah. So if you have a fire IG, if your life is looking good on Instagram, then
like ours,
you should.
I don't care if my life looks good or not. I don't care if the girl cares if my life looks good or not. I don't give a fuck.
Definitely transition to Instagram
because it's a flex. It's this little because a girl doesn't know anything about you, right? Or hopefully you optimize your Tinder profile, right?
But that's why you got on a date with her, so you can get to know each other.
So IG these days, if you have a good IG, it's way more powerful for you than just a phone number. Although it's a little less intimate, it allows you that little extra flex with the profile and if you have good stories and stuff. However, if you have a shit IG,
just
get the number. Stick to the number.
I don't know if my IG is shit or not. Here's a few pictures. Is it shit? Is it not? I don't know. I don't care.
Just get the number.
Stick to the number. If your IG isn't fire, because here's the other thing I'll add is that a woman will judge you on your worst photo. She'll judge everything about you on your worst photo. She'll go through your dating profile, she'll go through your IG, and she'll find the worst photo of you that makes you look the simpiest, the most beta, whatever.
But I don't care. Who cares?
And she'll be like, that's him.
Yeah. So clean that shit up.
Yeah, so it's way better to have less really good photos than more average photos.
And
I do agree that you should have good photos on there and you shouldn't have shit photos of yourself. But at the same time, again, I don't know what to say because it's just so not how I think.
And that's on the dating app as well.
Like, it's more important about what I think about me as opposed to what she thinks about me.
On the dating app as well. If you only have 3 photos, then fucking go to war with 3 photos. So, yeah. The next point is turn on read receipts. This is a big thing Sterling does. I just learned this tonight.
Yeah, I love having, this is back to like messaging back and forth on the phone. I always turn on read receipts because I want her to know that I've read the message and not replied to it.
For fuck's sake. Again, it sounds like a performance. I want her to know this. I was a magician for about 25 years. And you always think about it like from the audience's point of view, how the effect is going to come across. And so I get what they're saying. But when I go on dates, I'm not performing for the girl. I'm being myself. I don't care what she thinks about me. I care what I think about me. It's not a performance.
That's super important. Like, because most guys are like too thirsty, so they're every time she messages, he's read it instantly and he's replied straight away. I'm a busy guy, so like sometimes I do this deliberately. Sometimes I do it just because I'm busy. I'll read the message. I've got shit to do. I won't reply for a few hours. It's the exact same shit that women do to you.
Yeah, again, this is where I feel like the only winning move is not to play the game. I don't play the game. So if a woman messages me and I pick up the message, I'll respond. If I haven't seen the message for a couple of hours, then I'll apologise for not picking up the message sooner. Like, it's just common courtesy. In the same way, again, like if one of your parents or one of your friends was to do, oh, sorry, mate, just picked up your message, Why? It doesn't make sense to me. Just talk to them like a normal person. Treat them like a normal person. You don't have to play games to increase your perceived subjective value to somebody who you don't even know. It doesn't make sense to me.
All the goddamn time. So you might as well fucking play their game and beat them at it. If you're doing it deliberately, you're going to beat her at it. Right? So she'll send me, especially if you can tell that she is keen. I'll go back and forth a few, give you some context. Like, I'll go back and forth with a few good playful messages. Right. And so I know she's there on her phone replying to me. And then maybe 3, 4, 5 messages, then I'll disappear.
Right.
All the good, happy, fun, positive feelings are gone. And now that makes my time and attention more valuable.
Right. He loves me not.
Again, this is just a completely different perspective with how we approach it. You know, they're setting up a character for a performance. This is what I want you to think about me. This is what I want you to think about my character. This is how I want you to see me in this particular light. I don't play that game. I just, it's a very effeminate way to play the game. I just go and be me. That's it. If she doesn't like it, she can fuck off. I don't care. It's not a problem. If she likes me, great. You know, we might have chemistry. But then it's honest, it's authentic. It's not coming from a performance arts point of view. You're not having to dress to impress and to have to say and do the right thing so that it increases the probability that she might respond or like you. And all these kind of pick-up arts guys are always thinking about what the girl wants and is thinking about. I don't get it. It's very similar to a business. It's like, if you've got a product or service that people want, they'll buy it, and if they don't, they won't. It's not a problem.
So that's a good thing to do. And you can be authentic about it, man. Like, be busy.
Yeah, you should actually be busy.
Yeah, so, I mean, girls feel inauthenticity, too. So it's not like you're doing it as a hard ass. Yeah. You can be like, yo, hey, I was in a meeting. Sorry, I missed you. You know, had to read it because I want to see what you said. Winky face. Whatever you want to say, man. You can be playful with it, but don't always be available. You know, it's not because you're being a hard ass so much. Just be busy, you know, because that's way more authentic than just acting a certain way with a girl. They can pick that.
Think of it from a business mentality. If somebody's got in touch with you, like a customer's got in touch with you, or if you're looking at hiring someone, for example, and you need to give an interview, why would you put it off? Why would you play a game with them? Wouldn't you just, if a customer got in touch, just give them good customer service and give them what they want so that they give you better feedback and a review and have a better experience? And wouldn't you, you know, if you really need to employ somebody for this particular role, you want to see them as soon as possible, why would you pretend that you don't need a customer in a business? It doesn't make sense to me.
Like, I'm not saying that you should wait like 2 hours to reply to every single one of her messages. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's important to know the distinction. I'm saying, like, okay, I'm on the phone, she's on the phone because she's replying back.
Look, here's the thing. I think it's better to message girls during the evening. That's when they're more kind of susceptible to relationship thinking. Like, during the day, all sorts of things they've got going on. And the same with me. Like, I'm better being in a relationship in the evening. During the day, I'm doing things. I'm not in that relaxed kind of chilled out relationship mentality. So it's best for me and it's best for the girl when we message in the evening. So you could just not get back into touch until the evening, but just let her know that. Just say, look, I check my messages at the end of the day, and just let them know so that you're not, you know, they're not sitting around waiting for your response.
replying back and forth. If she sends me a message, I'm reading it and replying right there. I do that a few times, and then I'm doing something else.
You definitely want to get flow before you disappear.
Yes.
You don't want to do one message and then ghost. Because
Yes.
then she just thinks you're a fucking flake.
Yes.
You want to be more, it's more like, hey, the flow was happening, and then, damn, my phone rang. Yo, my...
Again, in my course, I'll teach you what to say and how to say it and when to say it and all that kind of stuff. When to, move things forward, when to cut things loose and all that kind of stuff.
I bet, hey, the phone rang. I had this call with a client, blah, blah, blah. But, and then I'd close right there. Yo, I'm interested. Boom, number, bam, out. Which leads us to our next point, which I was going to say for them, but it's perfect timing. If you need to keep it short, like we said, less than 10 messages.
Yeah, again, I don't keep track of how many. And again, it depends on the girl, but they don't usually last that long with the online messaging things. Some people I know are messaging on there for months. I'm like, mate, what are you talking about? And they're still not gone on a date with her. I'm like, why are you messaging her?
Dude, if you have a fish on the hook and it's close, flip it in the fucking boat, bro. Don't play around with it because you're having fun. Flip it in the damn boat.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've seen a bunch of fish get off the hook at the boat. So flip the fish in the fucking boat. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not pen pal time, man. If she's hot, she's replying quick.
Yeah, on the dating app as well. If you send out an opener to a bunch of girls on a dating app, and like one of them is just replying to you straight away every single time, that's the one you need to number close immediately,
Right?
Because she's the keenest. Don't waste that opportunity because she's hot and ready to go. She's obviously into you.
Right. You got to close, bro.
Gotta get that fish in the boat.
You got to close, man. You know what I'm saying? So, look, if she's doing that, man, look, hey, I'm walking into a meeting. I'm interested. Shoot me your number. Let's go get drinks. Whatever it is that you like to do. But, again, you're keeping it short. You're striking while the iron's hot. And you already got her going, so it's a good thing. So one of the next ones, which is a killer, I listen to this man do this all the time. I laugh my fucking ass off because he said.
So here, I'd just say at this point, I'm agreeing with a lot of what they're saying, but the way in which they're approaching it is completely the different perspective to how I like to do it, and which I find the most easiest to do. Because when you're not playing a game, it becomes easier because all you have to do is just be yourself. You don't have to worry about what she's thinking about. All you have to be concerned about is how you're thinking and feeling. You have to be as empathetic to everybody. Because let's say you match with 10 girls, you're now going to be thinking on their behalf. You're now going to be empathising with 10 different people. And you don't really know the other person. You don't really know what they're thinking and feeling. And, when you ask girls what they're thinking and feeling, it's surprising what the shit that they come out with. Like, whenever a man sits down and thinks, oh, this is what a woman's thinking or feeling, they're usually fucking wrong.
Ass off because he says the same thing over and over again. Dude, I'll come home from the gym and I'll hear his ass. I'm not going to say what it is because I can't even try to do his accent. But I'll let him have it here. And this is a really good one.
Yeah, so he's talking about voice notes. So I only discovered this year, actually. Like, I started playing around with it this year. If you both have iPhones, you can send voice notes to each other. I think if she has a Samsung and you have an iPhone, you can't do it. But you can send voice notes via text.
Not had the option.
He sends voice notes via text, and especially on Instagram. Voice notes are so powerful. So the reason why, I can communicate so much more, even if I say the exact same words, I can communicate so much more with my voice than I can with some text.
Especially if you have an accent.
Well,
any kind of accent.
Well, accents, if you have an accent or you have a deep voice like us motherfuckers, play to your strengths, right? So if you have either of those two things, you should be using voice notes all the time. But even if you don't, sending a voice note makes you stand out from every other dude who's just texting her, and it adds mystery and curiosity.
And these bitches is curious.
Because she can't, the notification pops
They
up on her
gotta
phone.
know.
She
They gotta
can't,
know.
she doesn't know what it is. It just says voice note. She's going to be curious.
She's going to hit play.
She's going to hit play. Same principle.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good on something like Instagram. Again, I don't really have Instagram. I have it, but I don't use it. So, if you can do stuff like that on Instagram, do it. It sounds like a really brilliant idea, actually. But again, for online dating and all that, I don't think it's necessary after you've matched with someone. Because if they've matched you, they already like you. That's what a match is.
same principle on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And more to the point on Instagram is if you are just randomly DMing a girl on Instagram and you don't follow each other and you've never talked before and you're in a message request section, if you leave a voice note, it adds that curiosity to it. So she's
gonna
in the
open it.
in the notifications it just says voice note. She can't read it in advance. She has to click on it and then she has to click to play it and then bam, you're in her inbox. So that's a little cheat code there for IG. But voice notes let you communicate confidence because most guys are too shy to send a girl a voice note.
Yeah, I don't talk much about dating through all the other different apps like Facebook and Instagram or TikTok or whatever the app is about. My course specifically looks at online dating, the dating sites. So
Yeah, it's a bold move, man. It says a lot, and it's very intimate. It's much more intimate. You catch flexion in the voice. You know, there's so many things that get lost in text.
Yeah.
But there's
Like you can be playful.
playful, funny. You can laugh a little bit. You can have swag.
Yep.
yeah, but nothing beats meeting up in person. You just want to get them out on the date. But I get what they're saying. If you approach somebody cold on Instagram, it's a good way of getting in there and getting the message opened. I can understand why they would say that.
And then honestly, man, like I get a lot of like you get a message back, it's like, oh, your voice is so sexy. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I tell you what is
My voice is sexy.
yeah, your voice is. But what is also sexy is the risk and the intimacy and the bold move and then taking it somewhere that somebody else hasn't. So you're actually taking her on a little bit of a different journey right there when you're going into the voice. But dude, y'all are some lucky motherfuckers, bro. This is some good this is good shit. I'm not and it's fun. So you're welcome, Thomas. Which brings us to our next one. I'll let you have this one again, man. But it's in regards to emojis.
Yeah, I'm not. You've got probably a stronger opinion on this than I do.
Yeah,
But like, I don't use emojis all the time. Some guys I know are like no emojis ever. I use emojis sparingly.
That's what I do.
And I'll use them as like in context. Like if she said something that I genuinely find funny, and I think it
Again, in the same way you would do with a friend.
actually made me laugh, I'm gonna drop a laughing face. If I'm playing around with her and I'm making a joke like, you know, wear a sundress or else, and I'll put like an angry face. That's a joke.
Yeah,
like,
that's funny.
and she
That's
gets
actually fire.
that. It's more fucking fire.
I gotta go into my script, bro. I'm gonna add it to our script. Speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
this is out of context, but we said we're gonna say it. If you want our script, it is for sale. We'll let Thomas price it, but I think it's for like $9,999. Anyway, so the other thing here, and I think this one's probably pretty important too because it creates speed. And I know that Sterling does this is message girls on a computer if you can because you're gonna be able to text faster, multiple browsers. When you're blocking a timeout, it really helps you out.
yeah, because Tinder and Bumble you can have on a browser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Instagram.
Oh, that's good if you're working and you need to get things done as well.
And Instagram.
For that reason.
Yeah.
So you can get to that. You can get to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, so you've blocked out like
Yeah.
30 minutes of time, and it's like, all right, window, blah, 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 done. Way faster than dicking around.
I don't know, because I'm usually out and about, so it's better to just stay on the phone. So, and you need to have your laptop with you or whatever. So I don't know. It depends on your lifestyle. That's a personal preference.
Phone.
And copy and paste is a lot faster as well. So
One thing you can't do is voice notes in that context, but
yeah, but you can pick the damn phone up. I mean, it's not like your phone's not gonna be there. Let's not be retarded. So overall, block your time out. Text in bulk. Use voice notes when you can. Close quickly.
I think voice notes is good for getting attention through the Instagram stuff like they were saying. But again, on normal dating apps, I think it's better to not use voice notes.
you had a point as well when we were talking in the car, which I don't think we saw here, which was about like the length of your sentences.
Yes.
I think it's important.
So you want to keep it short in regards to messages themselves. Clearly you do not want to double text, but you also want to be short and to the point. nothing more than a sentence.
No paragraphs.
No, absolutely no paragraphs. Save that shit.
Well, I open with a paragraph, and it works a treat. So again, it's everyone to their own, and I suppose it's a little paragraph, and it's essentially an extended sentence. But yeah, you can do a paragraph, just a short paragraph.
Save that shit for dinner. In fact, if they get too deep into those questions like what do you do and all this other stuff, I like to say, I think Tristan Tate taught me this actually. He said, I don't like to talk about those things over the internet. Let's discuss them in person.
Exactly, and that's exactly the way that I do it. Push it towards the date. Like, you've matched with a girl with online dating. You're both there to date online. Well, it's not, you don't do it online. You actually meet up in person. In the same way that, again, if you were, again, I used to be a magician. So if somebody wanted to book me for a gig, I wouldn't be chatting for days and weeks on, messaging. I was just like, when do you want me? When's the date? You just go into the logistics of arranging everything. Maybe have a sales call, just so you can have a chat on the phone, just so they feel confident. Same with girls. It's just, you just book it in like you wouldn't do anything else, like a doctor's appointment.
Another one I think he might have taught me, maybe Andrew taught me, one of them taught me these, is I'll tell you when I can trust you. Yeah, which I think is a pretty cool thing to say, actually. But it is keeping it brief. If she's interested in you and...
Well, if she asks me what I do for a living or whatever it is, then I'll say, what do you think I do for a living? I will tell you, but have a guess first, because I'm interested to see what you think. Yeah, see what your impression is. And that way you get to learn more about her.
You're keeping it short, to the point, you're on task, you're busy, but you're not being a dick about it. I do not believe in being too cool for school with girls. I feel like sometimes the fake hardness can rub girls the wrong way just because it's inauthentic.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, and they can sense that.
Yeah, the thing is, and that's what my whole thing is, just go with authenticity. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to pretend to be hard. You don't have to pretend to be rich. You don't have to be... If you are hard and rich, then you are just being yourself. But you don't have to pretend to be anything. You don't have to worry about how you're coming across to her. You just have to be yourself.
Shit. So just be yourself, man. Be self-amusing. Texting girls in abundance really helps that, I think. Any closing statements, my friend?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be self-amusing. No, I wouldn't be self-amusing.
That makes it, that point there, texting girls in abundance, when you're on the dating app or on your phone or on Instagram or whatever, like we said about blocking that time out, the point he's making is you're messaging all of them at the same time, so you've got multiple replies coming back in, which creates that feeling of abundance in your head. So it's not like you're texting one girl and she's leaving you on red. Well, it doesn't matter. You just texted 9 other girls.
Right. And they're texting you back, so you're in this other flow. So you've kind of forgotten about this other thing. So it allows you not to be...
Yeah, when you're in demand and you're in momentum, it doesn't matter. But when you first start on the dating apps, it might be a while before you get that flow and momentum going. Or you might go through a dry patch or whatever. So yeah, just that's why it's so important to be regular with it. Like half an hour, 20 minutes every night. Just text and swipe and do all the things that you need to do. Again, I explain it in my course.
Be so caught up in this other text, and don't look at their photos. That's a big one. So I hope it helps. I genuinely do. We'll see if it helps.
Of course I want to look at her photos, because I want to get to see, the more information that I have about her, the better informed I am to be able to make a decision. A bit like if you go and buy a car, what are the specs, what are the, you look at the photos of it, okay, right, it builds a better picture of what it's going to be like.
Helps Thomas. We know it helped Jordan. Jordan turned up with 20-something matches on his first day when he first landed in Columbia. So we're excited for him. Yeah. That's our guy, man. So.
Which video should they watch next?
Which video should you watch next?
Probably that one.
Probably this one right here. Have a good one.
Well, that was a good video, good advice. I agree with a lot of what they said, not everything. And yeah, there's different ways to cook an egg. Hello, my name is Doug, and I've created a video tutorial called What to Message a Girl for Online Dating Success. The reason why I've created this product is to help those men out there who are dating online but are not getting the replies or getting the dates that they desire. My product will teach you what to message a girl, what not to message a girl, when to message a girl, how to respond when you're not sure what to write, what to do if she doesn't reply, how to get her phone number, and how to communicate to get online dating success. If you're getting matches and no success, this product is for you. It's what you need to do today to start getting success with your matches. I'll also be talking about other issues such as how to spot red flags, identify time wasters, to stay out the friend zone, how to deal with ghosting, simmering and icing. Not only will I be giving you exactly what you need, copy and paste, I'll also be explaining to you the reason why I'm writing what I'm writing so you can understand the psychology and know what behaviours to look out for and which ones to avoid. This product is packed with value. I've tried to cram as much as I can into a short amount of time as possible while being the most informative. If you're a man and you're confused and frustrated with what to text with online dating, this product is the solution for you to get more dates in less time. Click the link in the description box below to buy the product and change your dating life forever.